This $300 Nissan 300ZX with an SR20 swap is 3 steps away from its first start. Step 1, we need a downpipe. Step 2 is to complete the exhaust. And step 3 is to complete our intercooler piping. Well, let's start with the downpipe. This is going to connect to the back of our turbo after some fabrication work and connect up to the exhaust system that we still need to make. All right, our downpipe is now 2 pieces. The other end is gonna get welded here, but we gotta put a bellows in. We're gonna go ahead and pop this back in, make sure nothing moved after I tacked it together. And then Evan is gonna put the pretty welds on it tomorrow. That guy? Rocking in, baby! It's very important to have a bellows in the system because as the engine rocks and vibrates, you wanna make sure that this thing has a little bit of movement so your welds don't crack. So in order to get that on our downpipe, I basically took some measurements and I'm gonna cut on the outsides of this green tape that you see here. And once these cuts are made, we'll be able to insert this bellows right into the downpipe. So what we have here is a piece of 3.5-inch pipe that I'm gonna put on the end. We're gonna go about another 4 inches here and basically terminate it into a slip joint. Just trying to keep this as simple as possible. These handy dandy little tack up clamps.
This is new, I don't think I've seen this before.
Funny enough, got an ad on my Instagram for these things and I was like, oh. So once you clamp it on, there's little windows in here in the clamp and you can just walk over here and put tacks. We're gonna slip this onto our downpipe and see how it fits. Boom. We've got some pie cuts that we got from Vibrant as I showed you guys earlier. We can start to use this to kind of turn the corner here because we got to start heading back to that cutout way back there.
We've got all the downpipe all mocked up, all tacked up. Today we're gonna be using our Lincoln Electric 225 TIG. I've got it all set up. I've got the gas on. And we are ready to weld. You got this mocked up? Ooh, looking good, looking good.
Trying to keep it as tight above these frame rails as possible because this thing is in the weeds. So last thing I want to do is spend all this time making an exhaust with you and destroy it the first time we drive the car.
At least we won't let Victor drive it.
Yeah.
All right.
This pipe. So what I'm going to have to do is come out of here with an angle.
Now we're at a point where we're gonna make an axle back section so that we can use our amazing Vibrant titanium muffler.
We're gonna weld a Vibrant pie cut onto here. And then we'll bolt this up with the V-band and then we can start working the angle to make sure we get the exhaust just the way we want it. So the next thing we're gonna move on to is the wastegate and the dump that we need to make.
Put it in here. What do you think?
Dude, I'm
loving it.
I'm
Do you like the length?
I like the length. I like the space.
He loves the length.
No, yeah, I'm a huge fan of the tip sticking out of the bumper.
We have some
I love
adjustability, but this tip on the muffler is not extra long.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's more queen size.
yeah, you know, my style is like all out, all big out. Like my RX-7 stuff is like out here. You know, you can only do so much with Quinn.
All right, well, the wastegate dump tube is done. So I think the next thing is I have like feet of welding to do. So we have to take this off. I have to weld all the way around.
Yeah, you're gonna be at the bench for a few hours on this
And
one.
Mickey's gonna start the intercooler piping.
Yes, I am. Actually, I'm gonna bolt that on.
We're gonna bring it down for the first time. You haven't seen the exhaust.
No, I haven't. We were working on other things.
Dude, I think it's money. Little bit of sticking out.
That's perfect, dude.
Little bit of angle of the dangle. Now comes the most fun part for me, which is to TIG weld this thing all the way around. So we've got our Lincoln Electric 225 set up. I've got a big M Furic gas lens on here. We've got some stainless steel filler rod, and it's time to weld. So let's get after it. It's a little warm.
It does get kind of hot over here, huh?
It's hot. It's a lot of welding to go.
So
Let's keep going.
How many rings do we gotta do total?
3,
1,
4,
2,
5, 6. Not so bad.
No, it's 2 here.
Oh, there's 2 here.
It's 7.
7. All right, 1 down. More to go.
6 more to go.
I got the main mid pipe and the muffler section all welded up. The last thing to do is the downpipe. So I'm gonna take my time because you can see this section from the top of the engine bay. I'm gonna do my best to make the best stack of dimes that I can do. What's really nice about all the Vibrant stuff is everything welds really nicely. So I have no excuse but to make this look beautiful.
Well, you don't have to make it look beautiful because it's gonna be heat wrapped.
We're gonna cut that out because it's not gonna be heat wrapped. Everything for the exhaust system is now welded up and it looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit rusty. I don't do a ton of welding and I have a lot of respect for people who weld every single day. But I will say it is sealed, it is TIG welded, we've got everything together and everything should fit pretty nicely. So I think the next thing we're going to do is put everything back on the car and then we have to weld the hangers on so that the muffler is in the right spot and that everything is secure and is not going to move. So let's do that.
Hey, I got no time to waste. I'm gonna start putting everything back together because I gotta make hangers. Job is almost done.
See, well, we just figured out how to make them or use it.
So right now it's literally dangling on zip ties, if you can see right there, but we have no hangers. So I'm gonna try to figure out different ways to get this with proper hangers, but all I need is like 2 or 3 max. So yeah, that's gonna be the next step. So let's get it done. Okay, so I decided to go here. This is what the original exhaust hanger used to be. And I'm able to put the bushing there, and then I have the rod here. And I'll be able to bend it 90 degrees, make a small cut, and then place it in place, and a nice little MIG weld here to hold it in place, and that should be one of them. And there's one of them. Nice little hangers. So right now we'll just weld it on both sides and we'll have one set. Okay, so I have this bracket that I just made. The goal is to make it fit here, and from here we will hang this hanger and do the exact same thing we did on this side, and we'll be able to create the exact same thing on this side. Here is number 2. Damn, I'm good. Look at that.
Who did that?
Me.
You gonna make that?
Yeah, we're gonna make it here, and then look over here. Bam. Look at that.
And then there's one more or no?
And then I'm gonna make one at the very end.
Yeah.
All right, you guys just saw me create this on our titanium exhaust. And the reason for this is because this is titanium, this is stainless steel. It is kind of hard to weld, so I'm gonna be able to bolt this on into it. And once I get this on, I'll be able to finalize the hanger. So let's get it done. For my next trick, I'm gonna make the last hanger. I'm gonna go right there. I'm gonna make a 90-degree turn, and then I should be able to attach it using a bracket or something to this bolt. All right, so this is what we have. We have a little bracket that I put at the bottom with a little fisheye, so we'll be able to hold it on the stock bracket that comes on the exhaust. Put a little washer at the end, we welded it. But I'm gonna take the tape off first, and then we'll install it for the final time.
I'm gonna go ahead and begin our intercooler piping. It's gonna require us to use some vibrant 3-inch aluminum piping that we've already sourced. I have a bunch of bends here and a bunch of straights. We also have a Grady blow-off valve with a universal blow-off valve mount that we're gonna weld onto the cold side of the piping so it makes all the cool noises. All right, I got our bends cut up right here. I got 2 of them, and this came from Vibrant like that. So what I'm doing is I'm actually reshaping it. So it's gonna go around the strut tower here. We're gonna actually extend it out. I'm gonna cut a 4.5-inch piece off this Vibrant straight here, and it's gonna extend it out, and it's gonna go past our tub here, and then it's gonna kick back down to our 45-degree Vibrant that's going into the front of the intercooler, side of the intercooler. So this is actually gonna be a pretty straight and precise run, which is cool, and it's gonna have a little kick to it, which is kind of neat. You always wanna make these as smooth as possible so the airflow is as smooth as possible, so that's why we wanna make sure the transitions are nice and swoopy. So, time to get these ready so Evan can tack them up.
All right, I am back with a mustache, and today we're gonna be welding up the aluminum intercooler piping. So I spent a few minutes off camera with Mickey mocking this up, tacking it, and now comes the time, my favorite time, which is to do finish welding on TIG welding aluminum. I really enjoy TIG welding aluminum. It is very challenging if you've ever done it before, but I think it's very rewarding if you do a nice job. So I'm gonna try to take my time here. I've got plenty of tungsten all ground down. We've got gas on. We've got our Lincoln Electric 225 fired up. We're ready to go, baby. Here we go. The hot side of the intercooler piping is now all welded up. I can give this back to Mickey. We almost forgot to install an O2 bung. This is very important for the tuning process. So Quinn already drilled a hole in our downpipe, and I've got some stainless steel rod here. Boom, boom. She's done, I'm clocking out. It's the end of the day.
We've got the O2 sensor bung welded into the downpipe, which means we can actually install the O2 sensor. Now we're using a CAN O2 wideband kit from Haltech.
This guy's gonna plug into the ECU, and we've got a little wideband controller right here.
Oh, I've seen this
This is
before.
gonna sort everything out, and then it just makes it all CAN, and then it talks to the ECU, which is perfect. So I'm gonna get our O2 sensor completely installed tight, and then we'll have a fully widebanded SR20. And we're also getting ready to do first start stuff. We'll get into that in a minute. Let's get this done.
So the SR20 is almost ready to fire up. We're going to oil prime the engine real quick, and then we're gonna get on the phone with Sean and get this thing cranked and fired up.
Yep. We've
We've got oil at the turbo, which is perfect. So that means the oil got picked up from the pan, went through the oil filter, went through the cooler, back into the block, and is now feeding the main oil gallery. So I'm gonna tighten this up. We're gonna crank it for probably another 20 seconds just to get everything into the head, and then we'll be done. Big Thurbski, ooh, ooh. Little Garrett G30 770 action, baby. Perfect. So we're just initially keying on just to make sure things are doing stuff. So I've got air temps. All of this stuff isn't set up correctly calibrated for the engine yet because we haven't loaded the base tune. But the fact that we just have injectors and things that are reading and feeding back, which is really good, which is a good sign. So we're gonna get Sean Christensen, tuned by Sean, on here on the laptop. He's gonna load our base map, and then we'll start going through all of the stuff we need to do for the first start. Most of it's pretty much just getting the engine and the ECU kind of on the same page in terms of what the car has. Using this coil setup, this injector setup, we've got these sensors calibrated. We need to make sure that the TDC that the ECU thinks is TDC is actual engine TDC, and then from there we can actually start the car. So, Sean, good morning. So I'm here on the laptop. Everything's plugged in. Everything seems to be responding well. We've got oil going in the engine, which is awesome. So.
And when you say built, what does that all entail, I should say?
Built for the engine?
Yeah.
So it's got a 91mm stroker crank, billet main cradle and brace. It's got a piston and rod, stock compression ratio. It's got a port polished head.
Can I connect the ECU and key on if that's possible?
Yep. So currently the injectors are unplugged and the spark plugs are out of it. We just oil primed it. We've got oil pressure at the turbo.
My daughter make them. They're good.
They're really good. Everything seems to be in sync, so now we're gonna hook a timing light up and spin it and confirm physically that it's correct. Let's do it. Time for plugs. Second drawer, second shelf up on. So this is how we're going to confirm timing. So this is the ignition coil, so that's going to get plugged in. We're going to hold this against the cylinder head, and then we're going to put an inductive pickup on our timing light, which is this guy right here. And then whenever this shoots current through it, it's going to read the timing light and flash it. It's going to flash it at the crank pulley, and we're looking for TDC on this mark. It'll be perfect. Let's do it. Looks like I'm plus 10 right now. Okay, no, I'm pretty much at top dead. Plus or minus a degree, I'd say. Everything's looking exactly how it should for us to first start this thing. So we're gonna put our final ignition coil in. Sean's gonna turn the injectors on, and hopefully it starts.
You ready to see this thing start?
I've been waiting for a year.
For a year.
Look what I got.
A year in the making?
We ready, baby?
Okay.
Let's go, dude.
We don't need
Fired
that.
up. I better get ready with the pin pull.
We don't need that. So I'm gonna crank this. It's gonna do like 2 full turns and then it will start right away.
Oh, that'd be sick. Just like,
And what's the plan? We're gonna start it, let it run for how long?
5 seconds.
5 seconds, turn it off, or what's the?
let it run for.
Until you tell me to.
Yeah, why not?
I'm gonna let it run until Quinn tells me.
Get some heat in it, man. You gotta let it run. It's gotta sort. It's gonna run like not very great, and the more it runs, the better it'll run. Same thing with every engine.
We have water.
So,
I would say for all intents and purposes, when you guys are ready, we can crank the car.
Ooh, that's the best news I've heard all day, all week
ready.
actually.
All year.
All year maybe.
all right, Ricky, you ready?
Yep.
Send it.
3, 2.
So were the injectors plugged in?
They are.
Okay.
It doesn't sound very compression-y though.
Correct.
What is going on?
all
with
the
that?
plugs are in and everything? Tight?
Yes. Yeah.
Nobody close?
Yeah, that wouldn't have anything to do with compression though.
Did you guys check compression?
I have not.
We had spark. We have fuel pressure. Injectors are plugged in, right?
Injectors are plugged in. It popped out the exhaust. Let me put a compression tester on cylinder 1 and see what our reading looks like.
Okay, I disabled the injectors, so.
Waited 2 years for Quinn to build a blown engine. Alright, let me go in there.
Where is all our compression, boys?
That's not good.
Okay, well that would make sense.
Okay, something's going on in the valve train. I gotta look into this. All right, we need to figure out where all our compression is going. We've got no compression. My lean is toward the top end, so I think the valve lashing is wrong. I don't think it's closing the valves completely. So it's holding the valves a little bit open. It doesn't give it a chance to seat the valve and actually
Now,
build
what is
compression.
valve latching? Does that mean because the camshaft is too big,
Means
or?
something, either the cam is too low, the rocker is sitting too low, the shims are too tall, or the valve stem is too tall. So it's not fully closing the valve, would be my guess. Okay. It's coming out of the intake, it's intake valve, it's coming out of the exhaust valve, it's coming out of the PCB.
So you're gonna go to it's definitely coming out here. You can smell the E85.
Yeah, that's intake valve. Here's the important part. It should seal. If it doesn't, stop.
Go slowly. Slowly. We're up to 19.
Where's the rest of it going?
Exhaust.
All right, so we've got a little bit of an issue. The intake and the exhaust valves are both being held open for the full 360 degrees or the full 720 degrees of cam rotation, which means we're losing compression through the intake valves and the exhaust valve. So the shimming is incorrect, or something in the system is incorrect where it's holding the valves open. We're gonna open it up, make sure nothing moved or jumped, and if it did, then we're gonna fix it. If it didn't, which I think it didn't because I think something's just wrong with it, we need to fix it. So I'm gonna call Mike from D-Sport, see what we can do about it. If there's anything I can do here or we have to pull the head off and set it down there, I'm not sure yet. We're gonna keep going. All right, so I just talked to Mike Ferrer from D-Sport. He's the machine shop that actually machined this engine before we put it together, and I had a little bit of a chat with him, and what he was telling me was, one thing I didn't do when I put this engine together was actually compress the lifters. So I put them in a bucket of oil to let them bleed, but I didn't actually crush them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull the lifters out, squeeze them down, squeeze all the oil out of them, drop them back in, and that should fix our lash issue. I'm hoping we can get them out without actually detiming this entire engine. All right, so I was able to get the rocker and the lifter out. What we're going to do is compress the lifter. We're gonna completely squeeze this thing, squeeze all the oil out of it. It'll stay at the bottom, and we'll just drop it back in. And we're gonna do that for every single cylinder. And talking with Mike, one of two things is gonna happen. Either it's going to be fine forever and that'll be the end of our problem, we'll never have that problem again, or the lifter is going to get oil pressure in it and bleed back up and do the same thing. So we'll have good compression running for a little bit, and then our compression will slowly go away as the valves start to hold themselves open again. So if that happens again, we're gonna pull all the lifters out again, and it's fairly straightforward and easy now that I know I can do it without detiming the whole engine. We're gonna cut a couple thousandths off the bottom, and then we'll be done. So got one down, we're gonna crush it, stuff it back in, and we got 8 more to go. Let's do it. 7 more to go. 1 done, yeah. So I've got the exhaust side completely finished. I've got half of the intake side done, and I wanted to show you guys. So this is the rocker here, and the lifter's underneath it. And if I push on this, once I get them to manually actuate, I get a ton more movement out of the lifter, which is perfect. These guys move around nice, and these things are like almost rock solid, which is not good. So let's do these last two and get it back together. I took all the lifters out, got them moving, I put everything back together in the SR20, and it's still not enough. So something in the valve train is just too tall. There's just not enough clearance for the rockers and the lifters and all that stuff to move around, so it's holding all the valves open. So I've got all of our lifters here and all of our guide shims here. We're gonna send these down to D-Sport and get them machined. So we'll have some more clearance in the valve train, we'll get it back together, and then we'll start this thing. Let's go.
Holy shit.
Here, take these down to D-Sport.
You know what? If you would put a rotary, this would not have been an issue. Just saying.
100% recap, we went for first start, put the plugs in, spun it, zero compression, not good. Ripped the valve train apart, machined some things, now we have compression. We had a CAS issue, so I reset that. Now it's all back together, it should start. Ready?
I'm ready. You ready? I'm ready. We've been ready. Let's go.
All right, Ricky.
Ready?
Send it. It's trying, it's trying.
Yeah.
We just gotta let it run. We just gotta let it run. Yep.
Yeah.
3, 2.
Let's go, baby.
Oh, that's nice. We gotta adjust the idle. It's not a, so we don't have an idle air control valve on this, so the throttle is gonna be the idle, so we need to tune it up. It's not idling right now. Start again, Ricky. Damn, this thing runs smooth.
Or steam and things like that, just because everything is new, hands are dirty. There's a lot of steam coming from the exhaust section, some kind of all over, but it's nothing to be like alarmed of. We just have to let it kind of burn away. That's it, a year and a half in the making. Great job, Quinn. Looks like the motor's running well. We have so much work to do, but I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you guys have been waiting for the 300ZX to start, please drop a big thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Good job, Nate.
¡Esto está duro!